This video is going to show you how you can create a username from your data. Now, what this video needs to do is we need to have a column for username. So let's put a heading in. As you know, we love a column heading. And let me explain what data we need. So we'd need the person's name, and we'd need the first letter of their surname. And that has to be in lowercase, so it's quite specific. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make my data a table. As you know, I love tables, and one of the advantages of tables is the fact that they grow with the data. We're going to use the shortcut key Control and T. Just make sure your cursor is somewhere on your data. Do Control and T, and then when the box comes up, we need to make sure that we've ticked my table has headers. Obviously, if you haven't got headings, don't tick it. Otherwise, Excel will put its own headings in as well as my headings, so we'll end up with double headings. Choose OK. So here we go. So my data is now a table. Now, so there's two ways we can do this, and there's one problem with the quick method. But let me show you the quick method first. So what we've done here, we've typed in Clarissa's username manually, and I could then go on and do Nicole. So let's put in Nicole G, and I could do Ron, and I could do them all manually. Now I don't want to do that, so let's do it another way. So we've got Clarissa in, and all I need to do is click on her name as I would like it to appear, and I'm going to do Control E, or Command if you've got a Mac. And what you'll see, this uses a bit of AI in the background. Excel has actually replicated that all the way down, and it's actually, I'm just going to double check it because sometimes it doesn't get it right, but it does look like this time it's got this right. Now that's fantastic. It's such a brilliant way of doing it. One problem with that, and the reason I'm going to show you a different way of doing it, is because of this problem. So let's scroll down the bottom of my list. Okay, and so we're going to add someone else in. So let's add in Peter Smith. Okay, and what you'll see happens is the autofill doesn't automatically fill in that information, which I find a little bit frustrating. It's great to generate it the first time, but I've got to keep on autofilling it to get that back. So I want a list that every time I add something in, it automatically puts that name in. So we're going to do the same thing. Let's go back to the top. I'm going to use a formula instead of using the auto fill option, the ghosting. So let's I've cleared that information. Let's start again. So there's quite a few things we need to do here, and I'm actually because this is based on something a client was asking, so it's a real life example, and the first thing we needed to do was to get the first initial of the last name. So let's do that. So we're going to start off with Clarissa again in C1, and we're going to use the equals left open bracket function. Really useful this, because this will take the amount of characters from the left hand side. So then let's click on Clarissa, or on her surname Jones, comma, and then I'm going to put number 1 in, because that means take one character from the word Jones. Close my brackets, enter. Because it's a table, it automatically copies everything down. Nearly there. So that's the first thing. Now the second thing is I actually need Clarissa's name as well. I don't just need the letter J. So let's do a different one. So we're going to add in, so the way I could link that in is using the ampersand. So when I say the ampersand, I'm just going to put it in this cell over here. It's on the number 7. Shift and 7 will give you the ampersand. So I can use that to join two cells. So let's do it in this one over here. So if I wanted to put Clarissa's first name and surname together, I could say equals A2 and B2. This won't put any spaces in, but you'll get the idea. So that's put those two bits of information together. So we can do that in our cell in J2. Now we've already got the left one in there, so I'm going to click after the equals, and I'm going to start off with Clarissa's name in A2. I'm going to put my AND in, Shift and 7, and then I'm going to click on the last name in B2. Sorry, no, I don't need that. No, go back a bit. There we go. So I'm going to put the AND in, and then I'm just going to leave the left as it is. So it's going to say take the first name and the left of the last name, first character. Press enter. So as you can see, we're getting there. So I've got her name in and the first initial. So the username's okay, but I need it in lower case. So I'm going to put in another function, and what we're doing here is we're called nesting, and that's because each function nests nicely in with the function beforehand. And sometimes I like to build it up like this, so each step then I know is correct. So let's do the last one. So after the equals, we're going to add in the function of lower, open bracket, and then I'm going to close my brackets at the end, press enter. Fantastic. So that has done a very similar thing to what I was doing earlier when I did Control-E and it copied down. The advantage of that formula, let's go down to the bottom and let's test this, see if it works. So we're going to add in our new person, so let's add in Joe Simmons. And there we go. Can you see that formula has automatically populated, which is one advantage for putting the main formula in rather than using the Control-E, the autofill. But I would say there are some circumstances where that would work, so it's nice. That's why I show you both options. I hope you found this useful. It was a real life example that we worked through with a client and hopefully saved her a lot of time. If you want to comment or let me know of any other ways you might have done this, because there are other ways you can do it, I'd really be pleased to hear them. So thanks very much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and like our videos. Thank you. Bye bye.